President Joe Biden signed 4 executive orders yesterday crying racism on America. And there is a bunch of weirdos calling on so-called citizen detectives to report you as an extremist to authorities. Ridiculous. This is the end of the hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Wednesday, January 27th, 2021. Stay tuned for hour 2. Jesse Lee Peterson will be right back. But first, Hake News, not fake news. It's a communist culture, the extreme left publisher called Twitter, reports that President Biden signed 4 executive actions focused on racial equity, a fake idea pushed by hate-filled communists. On Tuesday, the orders directed the Department of Justice, the corrupt DOJ, not to renew contracts with private prisons. They pretend that government prisons are not corrupt. Ordered the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, to fully implement the Fair Housing Act requirements back to the Obama era redistribution of ghettos and crime to white and otherwise safe neighborhoods. Pushed the federal agencies to engage more regularly and meaningfully with tribal governments, meaning kiss up to the corrupt American Indian tribes' fake leadership. Directed Health and Human Services, HHS, as well as the COVID-19 Health Equity Task Force to examine best practices to better protect Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders from imaginary racism as part of relief efforts. Some quotes from phony Joe Biden. He said that imaginary systemic racism, quote, has plagued our nation for far, far too long, unquote, saying it is time to act, which means expand Jim Crow against white people. Evil ABC compiled a bunch of dumb snippets. One quote from Biden says, "We've never fully lived up to the founding principles of this nation." He should speak for himself. To state the obvious, that all people are created equal. For too long, we've allowed a narrow, cramped view of the promise of this nation to fester. What a sicko, huh? He said he'd rescind Trump's administration's harmful ban on diversity and sensitivity training and abolish the offensive, counterfactual 1776 Commission, meaning patriotic, truthful 1776 Commission. Maybe a little bit too kissing up. Like the 1619 Project and evil communist Howard Zinn is real and truth-based, not. Unity and healing must begin with understanding and truth, not ignorance and lies, he said. Biden said, "Today I'm directing federal agencies to combat the resurgence of what he called xenophobia," which is a British pronunciation, actually, particularly against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders that we've seen skyrocket during this pandemic. Some reporter said that Biden said this imaginary racial equity has to be the business of the whole of government rather than just one department. He even brought up the overdose victim, George Floyd, the guy who tried to pass a fake bill twice because he was so high out of his mind. Biden said that the video of George Floyd's death marked a turning point in the country's attitude towards racial justice. Those 8 minutes and 46 seconds opened the eyes of millions of Americans. It was the knee on the neck of justice, and it wouldn't be forgotten. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Actually, he does. He's a liar. He said, one of the reasons I'm so optimistic about this nation is that today's generation of young Americans, meaning the dummies, is the most progressive, thoughtful, and inclusive generation that America has ever seen, and they are pulling us toward justice in so many ways. Barf, huh? The communist organizations want in on the action. They want money and involvement, power. Representatives from the NAACP, National Association Against Colored People, and the Anti-American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, National Urban League, and other fellow communist pure evil organizations, including Asians who offered cautious praise but said further action would be necessary, they said. Some want illegal aliens freed, by the way. And Obama's lying NSA director, Susan Rice, is now domestic policy director for Biden. And Big Brother, the left, calls for an army of citizen detectives to monitor and report Trump supporters. That was before Trump even left office. They put out videos and hashtags. I'm James Hake.